Before he was known as Carnage, Cletus Cassidy was the walking definition of insanity.
We're talking about a guy who killed his own dog and grandmother when he was a child. He even burnt down the orphanage he went to afterwards. Jeez!
You think that's bad? After growing up and finally being caught by the police, he was charged for 11 murders.
And that's just the 11 we know about, people.
Afterwards, Cletus' story would have ended if it weren't for the power of sheer coincidences. Turns out the cell he was being held in was also shared by former journalist Eddie Brooke.
Oh, you know, Eddie, just a guy who got this alien symbiote that allows him to transform into a terrifying monster and wreak utter destruction to everything in his wake. Totally normal.
Eddie, aka Venom, was able to escape his cell thanks to the symbiote. Only one problem: before the Venom symbiote kinda... how do I say this?
Oozed out its own spawn out of nowhere.
Add that to the long list of plot inconveniences.
With no one else but Cletus and the newly formed symbiote in the cell, you could see what happened next.
A newly born symbiote plus a deranged homicidal man, all of us together into one, and there's going to be some problems.
The symbiote fused with Cletus through a cut on his body, creating a pair so dangerous it would become known as Carnage.
After escaping the prison, Carnage set out on the only thing he loved: destruction, destruction, and more destruction.
And Carnage has the right tools for the job in order to carry out his sadistic pleasures.
To start, there's Carnage's suit, which is quite different from other symbiotes. Since the symbiote fused with Cletus' bloodstream, the suit it creates is this unique and downright creepy mesh of blood and flesh that covers Cletus' entire body in the thing.
But when it's time to kill, the suit grants Carnage superhuman speed, strength, durability, and alongside some other nifty abilities.
Such as how the symbiote itself has a genetic memory for remembering things and regenerates from Cletus' own blood, making it nigh impossible to get rid of.
The suit also grants Carnage some ridiculous regeneration. Whenever you try cutting off his head, it always comes back. You try stabbing him, he'll treat it like a walk in the park. It kicks on the motherfucking balls. He doesn't have to worry about that anymore, folks.
If that's not enough, Carnage also has access to this weird 360-degree vision, which allows him to see or sense threats all around him. It's basically like the spider sense, but much more bizarre.
You know what else is more bizarre? The ability to shape-shift into anything he wants. This includes doubling his height, stretching out certain parts of his body, or just up turning into a puddle on the floor if he wanted to.
With this, Carnage is able to unleash tendrils sort of similar to Spider-Man's webbing that serve a similar function. They allow Carnage to not only swing across large places, but also allow him to ensnare people, essentially trapping them.
If that's not enough, Carnage can also fire out sharp mini projectiles from his suit in rapid succession, which allows him to overwhelm an opponent from long range.
Well, before Demon decides he wants to go on a rampage, stay tuned for the full episode.